Yikes. What's the most significant issue?
So many issues. Jesus. I don't know where to start.
So many problems. I'm gonna go for the way that we educate the next generation.
I would definitely say education.
I would say our education.
Only because I feel that we as adults are direct, products of our environment and how we were raised and what we go through as children. And I feel like if some of us had better childhoods, a better, education, or at least, a lot of different things in the smaller or the younger stages, we will all be able to accomplish a lot more and understand each other a lot more to be able to make some more, find more solutions to a lot of things that we deal with on the adult stage. So yeah, I say go back to the roots and start there.
It's not really prioritizing students paying attention. It's more prioritizing them just like getting ahead by any means necessary and not really learning and just being like good test takers.
Oh my gosh, I could speak for days about like what I didn't know prior to Howard or prior to moving to a better area with my father, where I had access to better education and resources. And I believe that when people learn things, when they learn more about society, about themselves, that contributes to, I think, the better world, or a better world rather. So when you have education, there's just so much that you know, so much that you weren't exposed to. And I think that really does lock people out of opportunity, because if people don't have access to these things, then they can't create these things. And people have all kinds of ideas and have artistic abilities, but don't necessarily have the resources or the platform to do so. So I would say education.
I feel like the biggest issue is just like people not understanding each other. Because like if people can't understand each other, then like you can't like come together as like a unit and just be connected. So I feel like once people understand each other more, then like everything will get better.
Yeah, we're a really divided country. It sucks because by being divided, you limit how much is created. You limit efficiency too, and it also creates a sense of loss of identity. You don't know who you can relate to. Who's your friend or who's not your friend. Nowadays, it almost feels like you're paranoid. You don't know who you can trust because of so many things that you hear on TV.
I want to say an all-encompassing hate.
So much hate in the world. You get hate in politics, you get hate in race, you get hate everywhere. Hate is the root of all evil, if you ask me. So I would say hate. That's the biggest issue we have.
The most dangerous and pressing issue is the rise of the extreme right, because it fuels a lot of that hatred.
I think the most significant issue in the United States would be the underrepresentation of the real problems. So like, yes, there's a problem with, representation in Black people in corporate America, but that stems down a lot deeper to the hate that other people carry for our race. So not generalizing, the biggest problem is generalizing our issues as one thing when it's a lot more intricate than what people may think.
Mass confusion and distractions. I think that one of the things that was unique about Ferguson was that it was a sustained protest that lasted more than a year. That's very unusual in the United States right now, because people are so easily distracted by other things such as social media, such as television, and through the distractions we end up not correcting things that need to be corrected in our own communities. And I think that that doesn't only apply to Black people. I think it applies to just people across the board. We're just distracted right now.
Ignorance. I feel like a lot of things are like in people's faces, and they don't want to really take it upon themselves to like change what you see as far as the Black Lives Matters movement, gay LGBTQ community, and even women's rights. I feel like all those things are very important in today's era, and I feel like it's not being talked about enough. And we all know that it's a problem, but a lot of people don't want to do the actions that's involved to like really get that change. And yeah, Donald Trump too. We gotta get him out of here.
I feel like we're just spending money on the wrong things. Like there's too many poor people, there's too many kids going hungry, and I feel like that shouldn't be. I feel like we have enough money to where everyone should be, I wouldn't say stable, but at least comfortable in the situation that they're in.
I guess for me personally, it's just like not even knowing where we stand as, well, I mean, as an African American, we've always known where we stood in this world, that they don't care about us. But ever since this man got elected in office, it's just like, there's, I don't know how to politically say this correctly, but you know, the other side is getting more bold with their feelings. And I start to feel something coming on, and I'm praying that it's not as bad as I think. I just don't want to, I don't want to say it on here, but like, I just want us to be okay. I know that before things get better, things have to be destroyed, and hopefully hate is destroyed in this process and love comes out of it, and the real, genuine love, regardless of what you look like. I know that it's hard for me as an African American woman because I can't even claim feminism because they don't care. They still had black people marching in the back before Susan B. Anthony still had us in the back. So it doesn't really matter. Hopefully we actually get the respect we deserve, and life gets better.
Probably like political views, like people not being willing or open to like agree to disagree. And sometimes, again, like we said, we giving some people an opinion that we don't really need to hear their opinion on it. It's like we giving too much power to the wrong people. Like certain people don't need a voice in politics if you don't really know what you're talking about.
There's a lot of things that I don't agree with. Number one, the political system is terrible. Not to get into politics too much, but democracy is not what democracy is supposed to be, or what we think as a people is supposed to help us. I feel like democracy only helps a certain type of people. And even if you're that type of person, like for example, black people, African Americans, even if we are wealthy and rich, it's still like, democracy is still not for us. Like we're still not, and that goes with Hispanics and other minorities and stuff. So I think politics is number one.
I think the political environment right now is probably one of the most would you say significant? Yeah, significant issues.
Yeah, in the U.S., like the political climate and like the race differences are like the biggest problem right now.
And number two, the whole brutality that's going on. It's like slavery is over, but somehow we're still captivated. Like it's like literally every day I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what can I do to change? But it's like there's so many things you need to do, and it's just, I don't know. It's kind of discouraging in a way, but I don't want to be discouraged. But it's like, I feel like what's different nowadays, more people are educated. More of us are educated, and more of us know about our background, and we're not whitewashed as much, which helps a lot because you can take anything but my mind, you can't. So I feel like it's most important.